The Pastor Who Hated Church. Follow Elvis Jung on his journey of redemption. Chapter 18. Elvis arrived at Common Grounds just before the starting of open mic poetry night. Sparrow was sitting at a table near the back, writing in a journal. She didn't see him arrive. "Writing your next smash hit?" he asked. Sparrow smiled. It was the kind of warm smile that could melt snow. "I like coming here. The poets sometimes give me ideas." Elvis sat down with his coffee. He looked across the table at her journal. "I can't read very well upside down." Sparrow covered up her journal. "That's not for your eyes. These are just ideas. I'll work on them later. Who knows, one of them may become a song. I don't know, we'll see." "How many do you write? A lot?" Elvis instantly realized it was a stupid question. "I've written a few," she said with a coy smile. "I've never published anything, except papers for school. They don't go well to music." Sparrow laughed. Elvis felt good making her smile, like it was something he wanted to do more often. "The hard part is making the two fit together. I'm not really a great musician," said Sparrow. "Are you kidding? Your music is great. People love it." "I don't know. I always feel insecure about my music, even if I get 1,000,000 views. But 1,000,000 views has to feel good, right?" "Well, actually, it didn't make me feel as good as I thought it would. Don't get me wrong, it's great, but it doesn't really change anything, you know? I'm still doing the same stuff I always do." "It's worship music. People all over the place will be playing your music. That's pretty awesome," said Elvis. "Yeah, it's great, but that's not really what I like. For me, it's like about the song. I love the process. Once it's made, it's like, whatever. I look forward to the next one." Elvis looked at her inquisitively. "So if I'm hearing you right, you're not really into the YouTube thing." "Making the video was awesome, except for the getting arrested part. Nick's way more into the final product than I am. I'm totally into the process." Scattered applause rippled through the coffee house. Elvis turned around to see a poet quickly leave the stage. "I wonder what that's like," Elvis said. "What?" she asked. "Performing like that. Just you and the microphone. No flash, no background noise, just words," said Elvis. "Elvis, you're a minister. You're in front of people all the time." "That's different. I'm more like a game show host. I smile at people, make a fuss, and host the spectacle," said Elvis. A gloom seemed to settle over his mind as he spoke. "Wow, you're not too cynical, are you?" "Maybe just a little," said Elvis. "Well, that's not good." "Why?" "Christians aren't supposed to be like that. They're supposed to be happy," said Sparrow. "What if there's nothing to be happy about?" Sparrow shrugged and smiled. "They're supposed to be happy anyway." "See, that's the thing. I'm tired of people telling me to be happy even when life stinks. And I'm tired of Christian being another term for naive." "Wow, it sounds like someone has issues," said Sparrow. She looked around the coffee house to see if anyone was eavesdropping. "Sorry, sometimes it gets to me," said Elvis. He was in full blush. "You want to talk about it?" She reached out and touched his shoulder. "Nah, it's okay. It may help if you let it out." "I don't know." "If you tell me, I'll stop bugging you," said Sparrow with a warm smile. The two stared at each other. Sparrow's expression was inviting but determined. For a brief moment, Elvis stood firm. Losing himself in her penetrating eyes, Elvis knew he had lost. "Okay, fine," said Elvis. Sparrow sat back. She looked impressed with herself. "I'm just not sure how all this is supposed to work. You know, ministry," said Elvis. "Kip seems more interested in publicity. We do amazing things. I mean, really. I love that you're making music and that we're online, but I'm not sure that's enough. It's frustrating because I can't shake the feeling that I could be doing something more, you know?" Sparrow drifted off in thought. "Widows and orphans," she mumbled. "Huh?" She shook her head and seemed to snap back to the present. "Sorry, you made me think about something. I wrote a song called Hands of Worship. Oh, wow. I wrote that like 15 years ago. That was back when I was in the youth group. It was the second song I ever wrote. I forgot about it until you mentioned wanting something more." We were doing a study through James. The verse that hit me was the one that said true religion is looking after widows and orphans and keeping ourselves from being contaminated by the world. I didn't really understand it. I mean, religion's bad, right? That's what everybody says. You ask them and they say, I'm not religious. But what does that mean? Why is it so bad? So what happened? My youth pastor told me that people hate religion because of hypocrisy and fighting and stuff. I get that part, but it's just like an excuse. It's like people are saying, I don't want to go to church, so I'll use whatever excuse I can. But that totally misses the point. What about the widows and the orphans? What about being something different? That's kind of what I think when I look at the table, or even my old church. They're both doing something totally different, but it's like they both miss the point. What about the widows and orphans? I get that, said Elvis. But what does this have to do with that song you mentioned? Oh yeah, right. Hands of Worship. I was thinking about widows and orphans and how we should be actually doing something. I don't mean going off to some far mission field. We need to do something right here. I don't know. Am I making any sense? Anyway, I was thinking about that, and this song came out. How about this? Let's make that the next video we do. What? You mean Hands of Worship? Really? It won't be popular. It's a good song, but it's really not a worship song. It's more like, well, I don't know what it's like. Let's do it. The worst that could happen is it doesn't get as many YouTube views. It sounds like a great message, so why shouldn't it be made? What do we need? Does the band know the song? No, but it doesn't matter. All we need is me and a guitar. Elvis's face brightened. I've got an idea. When's the next jam session? Tomorrow night. Great. I'll call Nick and we'll start tomorrow morning. We could have the filming done by the end of the week. How about it? Sparrow caught Elvis's enthusiasm. Let's do it! The next morning, Nick, Elvis, and Sparrow commandeered the stage at the Table Coffee House. They shot Sparrow singing her song amid all the people drinking their morning coffee and eating muffins and bagels. That evening, they recorded her again as she sang for the jam worship session. At the family reunion, she sang it one more time. During each session, Chris glared at them, her arms folded. Nick took all 3 sessions and mixed them together, flashing back and forth between the 3. The result was visually striking. He posted it to YouTube before the end of the day and it had 75,000 views. We'll hit 1 million, I can feel it, announced Nick. Sparrow wasn't impressed. She was already on to her next project. Thank you for listening to The Pastor Who Hated Church, written by Timothy G.A. Cooper, narrated by Greg Cooper. Tune in next week to hear the next chapter in Elvis Jung's Tale of Redemption.